Hello? Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. Hello, and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. There's a lot of chit chat in my Discord channel. Check it out if you guys haven't already. Links down below about this one stock that's bringing on Elon Musk as one of their board of directors. Interesting. So I had to check it out. I had to give you guys an analysis. It's also ranked pretty highly on Fintel's short squeeze leaderboard, so that could be a catalyst as well. Maybe it's got some short squeeze action going on, so we're gonna have to figure that all out today. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So here we see Spear 3D stock spikes after suggestion that Elon Musk may join Griffin board. And there was an update at 7:35 p.m. So this was about an hour ago, saying that the Smith blog post was removed. So the Smith blog post was the blog post that leaked Elon Musk was joining the board of Griffin. So the update said that the blog post was taken down, and this might be why the shares were down in after hours trading. You can see right here, it's given up a majority of the gains that it saw throughout the day. Still up on the day, but it gave up a good majority of that. Also, if you're just doing a quick look at the technical analysis, it looks like the MACD might come down just a little bit, but we'll see. I don't want to ruin anyone's day. Anyways, if you guys have not established a position in this stock already, you guys can see it's clearly trading in this channel of around like $5.70 to all the way up to about $7.80. So if you guys wanted to jump into this stock, you could probably end up at some point getting it for 5.7, and you won't see too much downside considering it doesn't break below that point. And if it does end up breaking below and starts getting into the $4 range, that might be time to abandon ship, as it has been trading this channel pretty strongly recently. So if it breaks out, it might have more pain ahead, but that's besides the point. We're talking about any 3D. Oh my god, Spear 3D and any, and they secured an order for 600,000 BTC ant miners, which is awesome. And I did the math for what exactly 60,000, did I say 6,000? 60,000 ant miners actually produce in Bitcoin, and it's astounding. Now, I don't think they have all of these working right now. I think they have only a fraction of them up, and obviously their orders, Bitcoin miners are on back orders, so I don't think they'll be able to actually start mining with these 60,000 Bitcoin ant miners until next year in 2022, unless they have like an inside deals or connection. They probably do. And they said that they'll be able to produce 6.7 exahash, which is more than 1,300 Bitcoin per month based on current difficulty rates. Now these rates can change. That's another risk for Bitcoin mining stocks. One thing to take note of is that Riot actually has 7.7 exahash per second, and they're predicting that by the end of 2022, which is very, very similar. And he should also have about 6.7 exahash by the end of 2022. So Riot will still probably have more, but any is definitely in contention. And just taking a quick look at market caps, Riot's at 2.8 billion, and then if we look at any, they're at 435 million, meaning that any definitely has room to grow if we're just looking at exahash per second alone. I also calculated that this 6.7 exahash should amount to about $670 million worth of Bitcoin mining in a year, given that the current exchange rates for Bitcoin to USD remain constant. All right, so now we got the Ortex juice. So taking a look, we've got 6.54% short interest. It looks kind of low, but like I've said before, short interest percentage of free float means absolutely nothing. You have to look at the current estimated short interest of 3.3 million and compare that to the daily volume. The cost to borrow is 48.47%, which is pretty high. There are 662,000 shares borrowed today, and then 60,000 shares returned today. The utilization is almost at 100. It's sitting at 98.81, so it is very heavily utilized, which is definitely a reason why that cost to borrow could be pretty high. Days to cover 0.46. Whenever I see a 0.46 days to cover on a potential short squeeze stock, I never think that the short squeeze will actually be a 100 or 200 or 300% bagger. In those cases, typically it would end up being retail momentum that drives that price, just simply because the short interest that is at 3.3 million currently doesn't really compare to the daily volume. Today we saw 51 million shares traded in volume, and the short interest is only 3.5 million. So even if every single share was covered today, it's just a micro fraction of the volume, and it just really wouldn't make a huge difference in share price. So I could do a long graph analysis on Ortex, but I just don't really think it's worth it right now. So we'll just move on to the other short interest numbers. If we go to Fintel, you can see on the short squeeze leaderboard, Any is sitting here at number 23 right there. Yep. And you can see Fintel has it at a 4% short interest. You can also see here on short site that S3 Partners has it at a 4.97% short interest. Looking at the flow today, there were a bunch of large call options purchased in the last hour of trading. Not the most that I've seen, but the flow is overwhelmingly bullish, as you guys can see throughout the last 2 hours of trading. And if we keep going lower, it was still bullish throughout the trading day, which is a bullish sign going into tomorrow. It's not the end all be all, but it is a bullish sign. If you guys wanted to see what type of options are being traded, you can see it right here, looking at the total aggregate flow across today's date for any stock. And you can see it was mostly calls being traded. You can see the premiums mostly calls, but with bullish versus bearish premium, it's about 50 flip 50, and it's actually leaning a bit towards bearish, meaning that short call options are being traded more than puts. If we look at the expiration dates that are most popular, it's 10/15. So it is expected that this stock does make a quick move. 49 million call options were being traded. That's insane considering only 3.3 million short interest. If we go down to the strike price, the most bullish strike price is $7 per share. Then $10 is the next highly traded strike price, and overwhelmingly the $7 10/15 call option is the highest traded option. Looking at the historical flows, you can see that the call and put premiums pretty much the same. Bearish versus bullish premium a little bit the same. Looking at the call volume, you can see there was a spike up in call volume today, also on September 15th, also on September 2nd. Now each of those other days, it immediately has less volume the next day, meaning that there's probably not going to be as many call options being traded tomorrow. The rally is less likely to continue into tomorrow, which could be part of the reason why it's already selling off, but also the fact that Elon Musk isn't joining the board is probably the main catalyst for it selling off. Put to call ratio is 0.1. It's pretty much around that 0.1 range historically. If we move into the intraday analysis, didn't see any dark pool volume today. And if we look at the 10 biggest option trades, you can see that 7 out of the 10 were bullish, and it was all call options being traded in those 10 biggest plays. You can also see right here on the SHO threshold list, ANY or any stock is not currently on this list. So where do I see any stock going? Honestly, I think there's going to be less volume in the next trading days, and I do think it's likely that it probably will come back down to this 5.7 level before something else happens. We've seen it here on September 15th. We looked at that. That was another day where call option volume spiked, and it slowly sold off into the next days. Today was more of an abrupt sell-off. We saw something similar back here. It was more of an abrupt sell-off once it hit $12 per share, and then it sold off more aggressively, but it ended up all the way back to its original position before it actually started taking off. If you guys can see here, same thing happened, comes back down to its original position. And if we go back to today, it's already sold off half the way. I do think it'll likely sell off back down to where its original position was. So if you did want to swing trade this, I wouldn't make any abrupt moves, nothing at market open, but if it does come back down to this oversold price point where it was before it took off today, that probably would be a good swing trade in this stock, and that's something I will be paying attention to in the upcoming trading days. I'm not making a move now. That's pretty much it. I think I covered everything in this video. You guys know the drill. Like the video if you guys haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're entertained by this content, and definitely hit that post notification bell because you never want to miss a beat. A lot of my information is actually timely. Oh, also join the Discord down below, and you can also sign up for Unusual Whales, that website I was just using, down below as well. So that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.